Good morning and good evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 302 edition of Investdata Trading Academy live with Ambrose. Yes, volatility in the advanced market, the Western market, continue this morning. We are still seeing that misdirection, as the trend has remained since the beginning of the week, as a result of what expectation from one policy meeting from one central bank or the other in different domain. And as we speak this morning, that volatility has also continued around the globe. Looking at what is happening in US, yes, US market is missed at this hour as all eyes are still what Europe will be doing, especially the EU. But because the expectation of a rate hike has been also like they knew what was going to happen that yesterday, but it came another 25 basic point, and we saw that is like almost the highest interest rate between the range of 5.25 to almost 5.50, the highest in the last 22 years now. In US that domain, but like during the discussion, the communique or the press briefing, the chairman have said that yes, that he didn't mention that this is the last to end the cycle, but he said the prevailing economic factors, that inflation remain on the uptrend. On that, market was a bit not comfortable with it. But as we speak, Dan Jones has also almost extended like it's 13 days straight winning for that market for since 1990 since 1987. I think this is the first time we are seeing such the longest winning streak in Dan Jones in the US market for straight 13 consecutive time. We are seeing this the index on the high trend, and even when the Fed has announced their rate hike, it still closed positive, while other indicators for other markets also were missed. But I tell you that the market, this morning also remained in that direction, a mixed market in US. And for me, I am not surprised that we are seeing a US market in this mood at this hour. But the good thing is that we are seeing that like market open as we speak now, that still at this hour again, it has changed again to almost we are seeing a green around nearly all the indicators now, both Dow Jones, S&P, and then now can see market can change at any time. That's why you as a trader you need to keep your eyes on it. And despite this adjustment now, because expectation is that this is the last, which was the last statement were made before this NPC meeting. But at the end of the day, it make the open, it's like an open check that nobody knows what will happen in the next NPC meeting. But it says the function of data that will come from labor, labor data, the non payroll, all the data will come, inflation figure for the month of for the month of July or August also will determine what will happen. These are the things I believe that but for me, it's a good that market has also respond to positive earnings that were released in that space, which is a good one for the market. That we see positive earnings coming here and there, it gives you an insight that yes, the market here are not doing badly. But also, if you look at what is also happening in Asia market, we saw Asia market. I tell you that was shown that this US market after the meeting now has entered in green. Also, the Asia market as we speak also has continue in that direction. Also, we see that Asia stock has risen at this hour as a lot of surge in what in tech equities. This tech equity has also as others there was no other surprise from Fed, and this has also supported the market in that environment. Don't forget, I said yesterday that as stock eyes are still on the pending stimulus that the government of China has promised to do to kind of boost the economic recovery in that domain. But I think there's a lot of digestion of this outcome of the meeting yesterday, and I tell you that attention is also moving from US now to Europe, where the European Central Bank, the ECB, will also be meeting. But it's also calculated that they want to do 25 basic points again. But also because of the missed macroeconomic data, we saw that Germany, macroeconomic was slow. We saw inflation declining. These are the things that also people are contemplating in that environment for what is going to be the next after this. Because now we've seen that nearly we saw adjustment up. We saw it here in Nigeria, saw it in Europe, in Indonesia. We saw it also in US yesterday. And today is for what for in ECB. Tomorrow will be for what for Japan. After all this, like what next? I think these investors are really investors are really taking advantage of the positive earnings that are coming in that environment. Like I said, the technology stocks, among the things that boosted the market in Europe this morning and in Asia this morning, sorry, as that move up, in a positive direction. The outlook of Samsung, electronics and others are also at the attraction of the market now. As far as Fed also do not go beyond the 25 basis point, and also we expect that now the signal that it will may raise yet another rate is also there, but depending on what on the part of the economic data, like I've said earlier, I think these are the things that also we are looking at. The Asia stock, like I said, is also missed because I believe that there are other indices that are still there, but the good thing that most of the indices there are also in the green. Food for me is a good one for that domain. And we are seeing that also China is also rebounding. Some stocks are rebounding after we saw some positive, some profit taking the previous day. We are seeing a reversal after this Fed meeting. But Japan stock also is also a bit lagging ahead of what ahead of the Bank of Japan meeting. Like there's some uncertainty there. While some of the investors or market players are focusing that they will maintain their they maintain their normal no extra lose their policy, that is not hacking rate as usual. But also some set of investors or players in the market also say that it is time for them to adjust up because of also inflation in that domain. But all eyes on what will be the end, what will be the outcome of the world of the meeting that is going to tomorrow, that are going to end tomorrow, where capital to come from this back of Japan. And these are the myths I tell you that volatility continue in the in the matured market because of one reason or the other, and investors are not sleeping at all. They are all trying to know what is happening here and there. So that it is how you earn money. You don't go to bed when you are invested. You need to know what is going to drive your stock up. Like I said earlier, also European market also stock are also open higher, ahead of what ahead of ECB decision today. But I think all eyes on what to come. But because they like pre knowledge or pre insight that yes, they want to be the same 25 basic point, just like what the US did. And these are things that we're looking at. But also all analyzing what the impact of decision on the commodity market and all around. And also, like I said, earnings continue to pour in different domain. Just what we're seeing here in Nigeria when we come to our African market, we're seeing earnings coming from oil sector, from banking sector, in Europe, and these numbers are not looking bad. Yes, there are some pressure in some domain, but the numbers that are coming there are not looking too bad or too disappointed as expected. But why some are also missed, don't forget that in any environment, in any sector, there are some companies that yes, that they'll keep on doing good. Some also will be going to put miss number and one for one reason or the other. But you as an investor, it's not done on you to know how to work to kind of position yourself or to shiver those ones that that are not doing too excellently to move forward. Those that are still looking good. You can see that Nestle International result is out there in mature market in Europe. We are seeing also Blackberry Bank is also result is out. Share is out. A lot of we are seeing different results hitting the market. Despite also the economic condition in that environment, we are seeing some margin growth in their earnings and also in their performance improvement. But we see that this is how to invest. That you as investor, you don't stay put in one industry. You need to also move around to see where we are going. And now that Fed did not give any sign of ending the tightening cycle, it also keep the market in that undecisive mode. What is going next? These are the things that also will keep this volatility in the market as we speak now. These are the things investors should also have at the back of their mind that yes, we don't know where the market will swing to. And like I said, oil price on Thursday also rebounded heavily from the previous day losses. As traders also focus more on the expected tightening supply from major oil producing country or producers around the world. Because even when after the Fed has also tightening their money policy, we see more prices looking up. So as we speak now, oil is trading about $83.64 per barrel. You can see this is a good one for like us that are producing economy. If we're able to meet our quota, it's a plus for us. We can for a long time, for more than 3 months, for more than we are seeing oil price below $80. Now, that is why even the Fed telling that they are not closing the rate hike cycle because they've seen that fundamentally we are seeing changes also around some fundamentals that also impact price negatively. The price will start going up. These are the reason why you see the central banks. They also in their own wisdom they're not going to say until they see things happening because what is happening in Europe and in Russia and Ukraine are not helping matter. These are the things that also is affecting the market as we speak right away. But for investors, I believe that the more we become kind of designing our decision, the more better for us so that we can protect our portfolio and know exactly what we are doing in the market. Because that is the only way we can stay ahead of the market, following the trend of the market, especially traders like us that do not want to invest and go and sleep. You want to see that you are in the right sector so that at the end of the day, what is happening in the market will also be in favor of your portfolio. These are good things that you need to know, because once you know all this, you get to have a way of also playing out on your portfolio, because it is the market direction that determines how far your price will go, and also what is the sentiment in that market. These are the good things that investors should know. Like I said, that the US market is pointing in the up direction, not toward, even after Fed has adjusted rate up. No, like I told you, all mine is that this will be the last, the last rate hike cycle, or the last in the rate hike cycle that started more than a year for Fed. But as at the end of the statement from the Fed chairman, it has leave it open whether it is the last or not. Nobody knows. But I tell you that it's good that the market is also digesting the outcome of that meeting, and we can see that there's a real demand for stocks, and they over there, despite the hike, and we're seeing it price bouncing up again, to continue the trend that that we saw. I told you that Dan Jones was almost for 13 days up. That trend also has continued today again in that domain. But I believe that what the Fed flexibility will determine what the figures that will come, and also that it has made it clear from the language of the Fed demand, waiting to see where to swing to. It's possible that it swing to the point that they start looking down, or they do another pause before they start coming down. You need to understand all this as investors so that the result that came from Meta also beat expectation, because you can see this is why you are seeing also the market looking at. We saw the one that came from the Microsoft and other before now are also very good. These are things I believe that it's also supporting the market. Intel also tapping into what they know among the earnings that we're expecting today to also tap into, because most of them are looking into going to artificial intelligence, as I told you earlier. For me, there's no cause for alarm. Then you come back here to look at what is happening in our market here, because we need to look at our market. If you look at the market here, African market is still also mixed. For Nigeria, we can still say that profit taking is still in the market. The market is a bit quiet right away as we speak now in our market. Since we opened this morning, we have seen market not as vibrant as the previous days. Yesterday we saw a pullback, but when that pullback, even when we come to chart, I still tell you, market has not confirmed a value pullback. The uptrend is still there. That's why we are seeing a kind of what we call a distribution phase in terms of profit taking, but the uptrend is still very, very strong. Until break down the T line, another trend line that like we drew yesterday, that will tell us where the market is going. But on the strength of the buy volume, or strength of the buy, what we call a buy signal and sell signal, or buy sentiment or sell sentiment, I think that we're seeing that sellers are taking advantage of the market right now, trying to sell off some position for profit taking and wait for more earnings for the market to turn direction. But I will tell you before we go to the live chart, earnings are started there, flowing in, like I said yesterday, that at from 27, 28, and the last trading day of the month, we're going to see more results. This morning, we have seen more than 8 results hitting the market. For the few that we can look at, we also look at them as quickly as possible so that we can take advantage of this minute to share one or two things. If you look at the that came from Ether this morning, I'll tell you, yes, Ether is posting negative earnings in terms of the profitability level. We saw that the top line also was up, like but just with 10%, seeing the revenue, or what we call the turnover for Ether, was up by 10%, but the profitability level dropped by almost 100 and 184, from $178 million to 150, negative $151 million. Can see, and earlier the revenue was up from $1.6 billion to 1.38 billion, that's about 10% up. Also in that fashion, we saw that the earning per share also moved from a positive 4.5 cent to negative 4. From a positive 4.4 cent to a negative 4.5 cent, about 204 drop. And if you also look at the operating cash flow for Airtel, for me, it's a good one. We saw a great improvement in that. About we saw a movement from almost from 389 million dollars to about 580. The cash flow is a sign that this loss was for we are seeing for Q1 is a might be just as from Q2 might be a turnaround, but we might also watch it. Also knowing the sector where it's operating, you also know that the speed of turnaround is very, very high. And this is another thing that you also look at when there is international trade or international investment. You can look at a company that has almost like 12 operating in 12 countries, but you can see that there is no after like the other one of these countries has not contributed much to the bottom line, but at the end of the day, we are seeing a negative profitability level. For me, investors should also be very careful. Look at this. You need to look at number and see the trend. This is a Q1 number, but I'll tell you, the start for the first quarter is not too attractive. Even while the price is as high as almost above 1,000 naira, we have to return. But you can see what has supported this price of Airtel before. It's not because of the performance. That's why I tell you that there's value in MTN. We're still expecting to see MTN result and also to come with 10-3 dividend. Let's also watch and see what the figure will look like. But if it creates this kind of trend, that means what we are seeing in the environment, the factors trying to boost their performance and all their expansion, entering into new business is not reflecting on their number. That's why we need to keep our across to see MTN so we can do proper comparison. And also, yes, we know that this first quarter, YPN is second quarter. You can see where they are pointing to at the same time as analysts or investors to know exactly what to do. Another good result that came from the market is ETI, Echo Transnational Corporation. Can see this is a good result from the banking sector. The service sector again was saying that this bank has grown his gross earnings from 503.68 billion to 695.71 billion. That's about 38% up in the green. That will translate to about 105.22 billion naira against 77.31 billion in 2022. It's also about 36 to 37% up again, and this also translates to 3 naira 19 kobo against 2 naira 21 kobo posted in the previous year. You need to also look at all this, and the profit margin remains for me is a good one. Still, they're not too attractive, but 15.12% is a very good one against 15.35%. Fine. And the good thing is that yes, we know that in the banking sector, the operating cash flow is not more the same as other industries because they lend more. But good thing is that for this bank, or this corporation, this African-based bank or World Bank also, let me put it because that is behind Africa. This bank, I tell you that they are, operating cash flow is positive. Good is a good word for me, and that's also point that where they are going from a negative, negative 72.76 billion to almost 21. This is a good sign for the bank also, but knowing that the banks you don't need to, because once they are lending, they're about to also look at their cash flow to be negative, which is not a bad situation for the financial sector and the banking sector. Another result that came is from Lastaco, and this is the first insurance company that result that released, and it's not a bad one at all. To give us an insight, what we should expect from an insurance company, like I told you earlier, that the 200% hike in the premium of this bank, really their transport section or the of the insurance that are moved from almost 15% to they are moved from 15, let's say 5,000 naira you are paying for your third party to almost 15,000. That's about about 200% increase. So for those that has fleets, you can see what they know about. You know, insurance is like a pool of funds. It's when there is no eventuality, when there is accident that you can pay. If not, all these funds at the end of the year become a profit. Also, insurance don't collect money and keep in their bank. They also trade this money by investing to grow more. That's why we need to look at this sector, especially let's see their Q2 this half year will give us insight what is expected to form at the end of the year. If you look at the result that came from Lasaco, we saw the movement from their gross premium from 8.89 billion to 10.81 billion. That's about 21% or 22% up. One may say good one. Profit after tax for the period also moved from 376.02 million to 496.83. That's at 32% up again. For me, it's a good one for for this company. Also in that direction, we saw also growth in their earning per share. But if you look at the profit margin, I'll say is very, very low, for 4.27% to 4.37%. Yes, still agree, but I'll say it's very, very low. So cost of operation also they need to look at their cost. You can't be making almost 10 billion, I thought you are retaining less than less than a billion as profit at the end of the day. You need to work on your cost and also also look at it. I know that things are not looking too good in Nigeria because of cost of operation has increased, but you need to also work on it so that at the end of the day, you see value also to what you can give to your for your shareholder. But we knew that this company paid almost 15 kobo, last financial year. Instead of selling below almost there, one naira, then can see how also that payment also impacted there. But we see that if their earnings sustain, an uptrend, that like possible also again. The operating cash flow for the period also improved from 250 252.61 million to 812.5 million, in 2023 from 252.6 in 2022. This is a good one. But I will also look at the other result that comes to the market. But because of our time, I will tell you the result that came from CAP. It's not a bad result totally, but that came from Ikeja Hotel is a missed number. You see that the top line was down, while that of the bottom line was up. Like earnings moving from around around 6 kobo to almost 19 kobo for Ikeja Hotel. For CAP, we saw about a good number both top line and bottom line. Any move from around 90 kobo to almost 1 naira 15 kobo for Q2. That is a good one. But the one that for me is also disappointing is the result that came from all those penny stock. We saw the result that came from fertilizer, the one that came from that came from Q2's. Q2's paper was flat, even though that they declared 12 kobo and dividend for that period, but the number is still flat. Top line was up, but while the bottom line was flat. But the one that I know that investors were looking at are highly disappointed is one that came from Africa Prudential. Africa Prudential results. All these are reflecting also what is happening in the economy. But if you look well in all this number, all those companies that are also service related, insurance, banking, and all that, we're going to have seen the one that came from Sacco before now. These are where investors are thinking how they can rebalance their portfolio, and that's why I think this Q2 number is a very good factor that will determine where price of stock will go from here. Because after this, position for what for third quarter will start taking place. For you should be guided by the fundamental of the company and also what policy that will come from part one sector or the other is very, very important. For Africa Prudential, we saw a decline in top line and the bottom line for the period ended 30th of June for 6 months result. We saw that the gross earning moved from declined from 1.86 billion to 1.63 billion. That is 12% in the red. That trend also was extended toward the PAT. The PAT dropped from 935.78 to 415.1 million, naira. That is about 30. That's about 35. More than that, is about almost a 135% drop now. We can see here almost 56% drop. Yeah, almost 56% or not more than. You can see also in a negative position again. You can see that it shows you what is happening. And also this also show you in your profit what we call earning per share. Earning per share dropped from 47 kobo in 2022 to 21. That means this company they paid 50 kobo last year. On the strength of this, and if you are doing a projection from 21 kobo, that means that this stock will drop likely kind of look backward, but also as technicians also look at watch where the market will this stock to get to a good strong support level for can start dropping. But I tell you, on this strength of this price, on strength of this number, we expect that price to pull back again, and that also should not panic investor. But if you also look at the cash flow of this company, there was also a drop in the operating cash flow from 23.03 billion in 2022 to 1.67 billion in 2023. This is strong, a very sharp and also significant drop in the operating cash flow. These are the things we will also look at as investor to know exactly what to do when it comes to what your investment. On this note, we'll stop the earnings here. We'll continue tomorrow as more earnings are hitting the market. And this is the period that we see influx of earnings from left and right. But I'll tell you, as you are seeing already, the service sector are maintaining a positive performance. The result that came from First Bank, we have seen First Holding, we've seen the one that came from ETI now, you can see, and the first result that came from insurance company, you can see the trend. We have seen the result that came from the oil air service sector, so you can see not airline, but air service, not the Dana line and all those stuff, the airpiece and all that. No, these are the service in that industry. That's why you need to look at service sector and also service company to also look at. And those companies that has good essential product that even when it increase price, the demand for their product will stay there. But we saw what happened for CAP now, full year CAP year result was not a bad one. Will they sustain it in third quarter? These are the things you be asking yourself as an investor. Quick one, we are coming back to look at the chart now to see where the chart is going. Yeah, yesterday I forgot to discuss that if we can see that the 5 kobo interim dividend that no not what they call NGS declared central dividend. Market have not even reacted to that. But I see that yesterday the price was still on a decline because 25 kobo any dividend entering. Then what are they going to pay at the end of the year? We have not seen the figure to know the strength of their financial for half year. Is this just to put the oil in the mouth of investor? At the end of the year, will they also to pay 55 kobo, that is 50 kobo, but it's thought that selling almost 28, 29, paying 50 kobo doesn't work. I think investors are looking at even 25 kobo, fine. It's the first interim since they materialized, but now will they be able to sustain it? No, since they become a listed company, it realize the company to become as others on the exchange who are seeing their number. But you can see that costs have been eating to that company operation. Are they working on their cost? Let's also look at it until we see their full number for us to also conclude for NGS Group. But if you look at the chart now, I said it yesterday, to monitor where the chart is going. I said that the double top is already there. You can see a decline here. But like I told you yesterday, that until market will take out this blue, this green candlestick we are seeing here. Yes, market is still flat here, on a what we call a distribution phase to show that there are profit taking activities in the market already. But I will tell you, to call all the indicators that we use here, quick one, bring them up. We will tell that this market is still very, very intact. The upbeat or the uptrend is still very, very intact. Look at the color MACD up. See, call the money flow, and also call our C line. C line. I will also show you the trend line we draw yesterday for you to see that the what we're seeing, the uptrend is still very, very much intact. But with indicators, when we look at different time frame, we won't know what is happening. And profit taking activities, yes, we can also see gradually that even we're seeing that the market also, if you look at this as we speak now, market changes. At the beginning we're looking at this, so it's red, the last candle here, but as I said now, it's becoming green again gradually. These activities in the market, that's why looking at live market is very, very important. But all you do are looking at market, you look at different time frame to know exactly what is happening. If you look at the index action is still above the T line. Yes, we saw it pull back yesterday. This one, that pullback tried to continue, but again it's going up and down, green and red. When I speak now, but that green is coming back again to the market after the red one was seeing green there. Then if you look at the MACD, which is a lagging indicator, but also a momentum indicator, MACD said that it's trending up, but from the look of the MACD line, not looking at the signal line here, we're seeing that MACD is already trying to go look back again after trying to cross up then. But this signal line is telling us that MACD is also accelerating on the up direct to cross to become a bullish, to become bullish. But let's still keep our finger. But money flow is reflecting that there's sell-off or profit taking in the market already. You can see it here, profit taking already in the market. From looking down from almost 80 now to 75. That are profit taking. That's why I say money flow looking down. For careful picture, we'll go to look at the trend. Yes, at this point, let people look at what is the 1 month chart telling us in the market right away. 1 month chart, you can see where it is. Market have almost crossed the 66,000 mark. Before this, like I see it's still very strong. You can look at it here on the longer time frame. Market is still strong. Quickly look at it on the weekly chart. You know why we are doing this. We are coming back to see our normal daily chart. On the weekly chart, it's still very strong again. You can see your MACD. You can see it here. You can see that it's still up. But I tell you, this sign here, this almost the month almost 27 today. It's a sign that the short movement we are seeing is slowing down here, but very strong above the T line. That the market is strong. On a medium term, but look at what is market happening on a day chart after the weekly chart. Like today, we're seeing market in the light green now. As we speak, they try to come up again. Look at what is happening here. It's very, very important that the market is trying to go up a little, but we need to also consider that as trader or investor to know exactly where the market is going. But with this chart we are looking at, going to give us more information to know what to do with the market right away. It's very, very important that you do that, that you also will know exactly what is happening in the market. We have checked the daily chart. Quickly look at the 1 hour chart to see what the market is doing in 1 hour. That will help us to get a quickly of the market in 1 hour time. To see in the last 1 hour what has been the fate of the market, or what has been the movement of the market for the last 1 hour. You can see it in the last 1 hour here that market is still flat and trading on the T line also as we speak. But you can see that then quickly look at the 15-minute chart. That I told you is very, very important to know what exactly to do with 15-minute chart. If my market is slightly below the T line, 15-minute chart, you can see a money flow try to look up, and you can see that the momentum indicator is still very flat. That was not a sharp movement there as we speak. Finally, look at the 5-minute chart before we look at the stocks in the market. But for me, market on the daily chart is slowing down. We are seeing a kind of a quiet market as profit taking is on, and there also expectation of more results. The one that has come so far, I've seen mixed performance, but service companies have shown very impressive numbers so far. The one that came from the banking sector and insurance, and a few from industrial or the consumer goods have shown a little change, but most of the results that came from the low cap stocks company, I'll tell you these numbers are not encouraging. But for investor, it tells you what to replan your trade and position very well for better gain or better trade. Yes, look at the last cycle now, and also let's see what is happening in the market right away now. Usually, we're seeing that the top gainers have been dominated by we're seeing Lasaku leading, followed by Multiverse. We're seeing Sky Aviation, also ROT Briscoe and Total on the gainer start as we speak now. One of the loser chart we're seeing Japan profit taking into that stock. Cabri has continued, CHI, and the FGN Coco and the UPDC Trust. These are the movement in the market. But quick one, because of our time, we look at how far this trend was seeing in Lasaku, how far will it go? Look at Lasaku, and also step on to look at UBA. UBA is trying to stabilize around 1475, start touching 1780, 90 this morning, coming down. But let's look at what is happening in Lasaku. If time permits us, we'll go that one. But if not, we'll stop at this point after this Lasaku. But let's take, because of our time, it's fast spent. Look at what is happening in Lasaku. With the impressive number, we're seeing that the price is looking up right away. Yes, on the 15-minute chart, we are seeing, yes, on the 5-minute chart, the sign here is not too palatable. The sign of we are seeing a kind of a divergence on the 15-minute chart, trading above the T line. But let's look at 1 hour chart to go back to the chart to give us the full indication. 1 hour chart has shown that the stock has jumped here. You can see where it is now. It has been flat there at this price of 2 naira 10 kobo or 2 naira 8 kobo, or what we are seeing 2 naira 8 kobo. You can see it here. Money flow is also looking up and see our market is positive on a 1 hour chart. These are the position of the stock. But quickly look at the 15-minute chart and see how far it looks like 15-minute chart. See, for me, above the T line, we are seeing that MACD is very robust. Money flow is looking down on 15-minute chart. You need to understand all this to exactly know what is happening in the stock. Shift it to a day chart of the stock. You can see the day chart now, but I'm seeing a good bullish sign on the chart. Look at where MACD is. MACD is ascending, and you can see also the blue one almost crossing the once this is confirmed as uptrend. And once this confirmed a bullish trend, a bullish signal for MACD, that is very nice. And also you can see that there's a jump here to this because of the result that came, and we're seeing that money flow is still below 50. But once it cross 50, that will show you more strength as entering the stock as to speak. On this note, we say thank you because of our time. Our time is fast spent. I'll say see you tomorrow. Enjoy your trading day. Bye.